Hey everyone, Jared with Second Life Design. It is January 19th and I have another shop update video. I have been plugging away in here, trying to get more organized. It's an ongoing battle, it never ends. I've got a couple ideas for some, I guess it would be kind of a tool tower, I'm gonna call it. I will get started on that in a week or two. I have to get a customer job finished up. I'm getting back to customer work. The way it's projected out, I've got work through the spring on into the summer between stuff for myself and clients. So it's a good problem, but I've got a lot of work to do and I've got a lot to catch up on. I have done this home show. It's in the middle of March, end of March. I've done it the last 2 years. It's always good for business, and I always try and bring a lot of new pieces, and that's just something that I don't do a lot of. Almost all the work I do, everything that people see is commission work that's for someone else, and just to bring in 5 or 6 new pieces of any type is a lot of money outlaid and a lot of time that I don't really have. It's one thing if the pieces sell, but they don't always, so it's just kind of a lot of money and time hanging out there that I'm not getting anything for on top of an already busy commission schedule. So yeah, the next 3 months are going to be busy. There's going to be a lot going on. I'm going to do my best to document everything, but sometimes I just, the work kind of supersedes where I have to just kind of hammer through and get things done. So let me show you what I got going on in the shop, and if you have any other questions, drop them down below. All right, as you can see, I've got an MFT table made. It works pretty good. It's a little rickety. Got a little bit of a rock to it. I'm not super concerned about it right now. I'm gonna get through a couple projects and keep working on it. The table is 3 foot by 4 foot. I did cut it down. It seems to work pretty well. I wanted a lot of room around me, and this gives me that. So it's made out of particle board. It's a cheap material to practice with, but so far it's worked out really awesome. I'm making these face frames. My next client job is a couple of cabinets. They go on either side of a fireplace. And when I'm starting with these, I start out with the face frame. That's what everyone kind of looks at. That's what everyone sees. That's what dictates everything. This has inset drawers and doors, so I wanted these really nice. And this MFT is great for this because you can clamp in all different directions. You can clamp in the field. Like I can drop a clamp in the very middle here, and it holds this. This cross piece is always kind of a tricky one because it wants to, of course now it's not going to work. So I can clamp that down to hold it flat so everything stays square. Face frames are always tricky because there's always so many kind of fiddly bits going on, but so far this is working fantastic. When I get this dialed in, it's going to be a game changer, especially kind of with that small shop mentality I'm going with, where I want everything light and portable, where I can do the same thing here or someone else's garage or someone else's basement. And yeah, I kind of that shift in thinking it's working out well for me. I'm really happy with it, and the time it took to make this was very minimal because I was able to break the sheets down on the work table. See, I cut my first cut mark through it and get everything clamped up and glued, and it worked really well. I got my 88-year-old bandsaw finally up and running. It is as functional as I'm going to make it right now. I grabbed a piece of this cherry I had a bunch of pieces from firewood come up that I saved, and I resawed it on here, and this is almost 11 inches tall. I was able to resaw this. It worked really quickly and very smoothly, so very happy with this. I got a power switch wired in. I got a new gooseneck light wired in so I can see everything. So the vintage bandsaw is up and running and is going to get no more attention from me. I'm just going to be using it. May get a different blade, for some tight turns and that. Some people noticed in one of my other videos, I have another vintage bandsaw. This one is not really usable right now. It's a lot bigger. It's got 27-inch wheels. It's an odd size. I don't have a motor on it right now. It's going to take some more work and some more time, and that is just something I don't have a lot of right now. So I don't know if it's going to sit. I may sell it. I bought it at a reasonable price, so to be determined on that one. Okay, so the back wall of the lumber library is complete. That's a bunch of oak and a whole lot of walnut. This one stack right here going back, that's a bunch of pin oak. The rest of this is all walnut. There is like 600 board feet of walnut here, all 9/4. And a lot of this stuff, it seems inaccessible because it's going under the end rafters, but I don't plan to access this a lot. Whenever I'm getting into this stuff, I'm taking it out for a job. I'm not going to be flipping through it, to kind of just see what I have. It'll just be when I need it for a job, I take a piece out and put the straps back on. I had someone ask why if it's up against the end wall like this, they can't fall forward. Why do I have all the straps around them? I don't want them to fall side to side. That would, kind of go in like a domino effect. That would be disastrous. So I put those on there. Everything's really stable, but, my dog comes through here sometimes. He could bang stuff around, and I just didn't want to take any chances. So it didn't hurt anything. I had the straps and the hooks. They're strapped down. They aren't going anywhere. That kind of wraps up the lumber library. It's crazy, but it doesn't seem it. There is almost 1,100 board feet on this one wall, and it's only occupying like 30 square feet of floor space. So it's kind of crazy that this vertical stacking method, how much it can really gain you. And it seems intuitive, when you look at it, like, well, obviously it's going to do that. But, getting into that point, I think I mentioned in my last video, it takes a lot to get to it, but it is so worth it. And the fact that, I've got, there's hundreds of feet just of red oak, going all the way up to the ceiling, and it's all right there, it's all accessible, and yeah, just kind of an awesome feeling to get, this kind of finalized. I've got all this walnut, doing this air drying, it just takes so much longer, but it's free, obviously, but it is very rewarding when it comes to the end of it, knowing that, it's January now, but by the middle of the summer, this will be ready to use, for a project. So it's been 2 years, but it doesn't seem like it has. And then I'm gonna have some really nice air-dried walnut that looks amazing that I cut myself, and will be furniture someday soon. All right, everyone. That's all I really have for you this week. It's been kind of more of the same thing as before. I have some big projects coming up, some exciting ones. I've got some bids out for some single slabs. Those are always fun. Those are exciting. It's doing live edge stuff is one thing, but then doing a single slab to me it's one of those things I never get tired of. They're big and heavy and a lot of work, but to be able to put a single piece of wood into somebody's house that you cut and is one piece of wood is the entire tabletop. That is just something that I don't know what it is. I can't describe it, but it's a cool feeling to see that, and the impact it has in someone's home. And it's always every one that I put in, a year after, 2 years after, get messages from people that, hey, we just had a party, and everyone still compliments the table. We really appreciate what you did, and it's just cool. It's the single slabs are always just kind of unique, and they all tell a story, and it's something that they become a conversation piece themselves. So I enjoy that. I hope to get more of them out there. I have a lot of single slabs that are in different stages of drying, so I'm hoping to have more of those in the future. As I'd said, the next few weeks or months even are going to be pretty crazy. There I said again. I'm still trying on that, guys. Don't worry. But it's that's the kind of the way it goes. You ride the wave in cycles, and it goes up and down, and you just have to go with it and make the most of it, and make hay while the sun shines, I guess. So I have some coffee tables I'm going to make. I have a few different ideas for some. I'm working on I'm calling it a signature table, where it's kind of my own design, where the tabletop design is unique, but it could be kind of applied to many different species, types of wood, sizes, and that's all I want to say right now until I get more of the logistics kind of worked out and that kind of thing. So I will be putting a video out on the MFT table as far as the base, how I worked with everything to get it all to go together, and what I like about it, what I don't. And the MFT table is going to be an ever-evolving thing. I don't know what's going to be the best method or the best type, but I know what my demands are, where I want it to be portable. I want to be able to take it apart and have it in the back of a truck in under 2 minutes, and that's kind of my metric I'm using for success. I'm not totally married to this idea. I don't have to. If there was a better one out there, I can go with that. But I want to be portable and stable, and that's really what I'm going for. And I don't know what the perfect solution is, or if I'll ever find it, but this is what I've got right now, and that's what I'm going with. So, any other questions, drop them down below. I appreciate all the good feedback. Closing in on 2,000 subscribers. That's a pretty awesome thing in itself. I can't tell you, everyone, how appreciative I am of all the support. If you can't find me on here quick enough, have an urgent question, hit me up on Second Life Design on Instagram. I'm pretty good about answering on there a lot quicker. Anything else, let me know. Have a good night.